Welcome to the fifth video in our series, which will explore the AAA core service area of legal services. The Older Americans Act requires that all area agencies on aging offer legal supports for older adults. Before we get into the legal services that are supported by the AAA, it's important to understand how Adult Protective Services fits into the picture. You've probably heard of Adult Protective Services, or APS. But did you know that APS is not the same thing as the Area Agency on Aging? In Washington, APS is a partner agency of the AAA. APS is tasked with investigating reports of abuse, abandonment, neglect, exploitation, and self-neglect of vulnerable adults in the state. They are the right place to go when you have concerns that your patient has been or is being harmed, neglected, or abused. APS offices and AAAs work together, but they are separate agencies. If you report to the AAA that your patient is being abused, AAA staff will verify with you that you have also made a report to APS. If you have not done so, they will likely ask you to make a report. Vulnerable adults are defined by law as a person who is over 60 who has a functional, mental, or physical inability to care for themselves, or someone who's over 18 who has been found incapacitated, has a developmental disability, lives in a care facility, or receives service from home health, hospice, or a caregiver. APS's goal is to promote lives that are free from harm while also respecting a person's individual choices. Here are some things to look out for in your patients. Abandonment, neglect, and self-neglect, which looks like a lack of food and water, dirty clothing and changes in personal hygiene, an unusually messy home, or maybe a lack of medication. Financial exploitation, which might look like basic needs not being met, bills not being paid, unexplained financial changes, or unusual purchases. Mental abuse, which might be threatening significant harm, derogatory names, insults, profanity, and ridicule, or harassment and humiliation. Then there's also physical abuse, which would include bruises, black eyes and welts, broken bones, cuts and sprains, sudden changes in that patient's behavior, or caregiver's refusal to leave that adult alone. Or also sexual abuse. There might be unusual bruising on the thighs and chest, unexplained STDs, having a patient that's socially withdrawn or having sudden panic attacks, or unexplained behavior changes. If you suspect that your patient is experiencing abuse or neglect, it is your duty as a mandated reporter to make a report to APS. You can make a report to APS online or over the phone. The online web form is quick and easy to fill out. The benefits of online reporting include a confirmation number to put in the patient's chart and 24-hour availability to reporters, 7 days a week. You can also call the hotline and leave a message, but this generally takes a bit longer, so we really recommend you do the online report. If you're not sure that your suspicions warrant a report, it's always best to err on the side of caution and make the report. This is because APS keeps a record of all the reports that are made about an individual. So although you may not feel like your report is substantial enough, APS looks at the entire body of evidence in the record. Your report might be just one piece of evidence in a much larger case, which can help make a difference in an outcome of an APS investigation. During the investigation, APS workers help a patient obtain helpful resources like a vulnerable adult protection order, sometimes called a VAPO, or connect the patient to other helpful community resources. Now that we've covered the difference between the AAA and APS, let's talk about the elder rights services provided by the AAA. There are two main ways that area agencies on aging support elder rights. First, through support of long-term care ombudsmen, and second, through supporting free legal assistance programs for older adults. The Legal Services Program provides access to the justice system by offering representation by a legal advocate, such as an attorney, paralegal, or a law student. The Older Americans Act requires that each state offers a long-term care ombudsman program. The Ombudsman Program is a volunteer-based service that is available to all residents who live in a long-term care facility including assisted living facilities, adult family homes, veterans homes, and nursing facilities. Ombudsmen are trained volunteers who help residents of long-term care facilities by listening to the residents' concerns, working to resolve complaints, and advocating for the residents' rights. They work to provide resources that empower individuals, families, and the community to ensure the safety and dignity for all residents in long-term care settings. Ombudsmen are a neutral party that is not affiliated with the long-term care facility, so they can work with the parties involved to help make sure that each resident's voice is heard. Every single facility in the state has a volunteer ombudsman that residents can talk to. Ombudsmen will work with facility residents, family members, staff, and community members to address a wide variety of concerns. In addition to receiving and responding to complaints filed with our office, the Ombudsman program also advocates before the legislature on behalf of the dignity and quality of life of all people receiving care in a long-term care facility. Ombudsmen monitor the work of state agencies that manage facility licensing, inspections, complaint investigations, and enforcements, and their policy and regulatory development. Please be sure to take a look at the supplemental video about the Long-Term Care Ombudsman program. In the video, you'll hear from a long-term care facility resident who worked with the Ombudsman to resolve a complaint with her adult family home provider. In Washington, AAAs support the Northwest Justice Project, which is a publicly funded legal program for low-income people. It provides access to the justice system by offering representation by a legal advocate. The focus is on socially and economically needy older individuals who are experiencing civil legal problems. This service will often be the only way for these individuals to obtain trained legal help. The Northwest Justice Project operates the Clear Legal Referral Hotline. There, older adults can access advice and education about a wide variety of issues, and also obtain a referral to the Northwest Justice Project lawyer. Additionally, they operate the WashingtonLawHelp.org website. This is a fantastic library of free self-help materials and do-it-yourself forms. Here, patients can find things like power of attorney forms, learn more about specific financial ins and outs of various state-run long-term care programs, and learn about their rights. Please be sure to watch the supplemental video on the Northwest Justice Project. In the video, you will hear from a client who has used Northwest Justice Project services to intervene in landlord-tenant issues.